Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie. The truth behind their relationship. The revelation did not arrive through a scandalous leak, an exposed photo, or a tabloid headline. It arrived in the quietest, most disarming way possible. A single whispered question posed by a staff member who happened to witness something no one else was supposed to see. A question that spread like wildfire across the industry long before fans ever heard a word of it. A question that changed the narrative surrounding Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie forever. Hold on tight, C-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Why were they holding hands backstage long after the cameras stopped rolling? That one detail, so small and almost forgettable, became the hinge on which an entire storm of speculation slowly turned. Because the truth behind Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie's relationship is not the dramatic fantasy fans imagine, nor is it the cold, planned professionalism their agencies work tirelessly to portray. It is something far more complicated. Something far more emotional. Something that took root long before the public ever noticed the sparks between them. To understand their story, you must go back to the very beginning. To the moment they were paired for the drama that would become one of the most unexpectedly viral hits of their careers. At that time, Chen Zheyuan was rising rapidly, a quiet but captivating presence on screen, known for his discipline and his fierce focus. Liang Jie, on the other hand, carried a subtle vulnerability beneath her radiant charm, an emotional adaptability that transformed every character she played into something deeply human. On paper, they were a balanced casting choice. In person, they were lightning in a sealed room. During the first table read, something unusual happened. Not flirting. Not banter. Not even chemistry in the romantic sense. Something quieter. Something deeper. The room fell still whenever the two of them delivered lines to each other, as though their voices found a rhythm that belonged only to them. Directors exchanged looks. Assistants paused their typing. Even the senior actors noticed a strange synergy radiating between them. No one could explain it, but everyone felt it. As filming began, that unspoken connection only intensified. Chen Zheyuan, who usually kept to himself, started lingering around set long after his scenes ended. He offered to rehearse lines with Liang Jie, even scenes that did not involve him. He quietly adjusted props for her, handed her water without being asked, and shielded her from harsh lighting during retakes. Meanwhile, Liang Jie, who was usually playful and open with her colleagues, became unusually attentive around him. She listened to him with focus. She laughed at his smallest jokes. She absorbed his presence in a way that was impossible to ignore. The industry loves to pretend these behaviors are normal. That actors often grow close when shooting intense romantic dramas. But insiders knew something different was unfolding. Their comfort was too instinctive. Their trust too natural. Their glances too unguarded. It became clear, early on, that whatever existed between them was not simply chemistry. It was connection. But connection, in their world, is dangerous. As the drama gained momentum and fan enthusiasm erupted into full-blown obsession, management teams stepped in. Publicists crafted rules. Managers drew boundaries. Their agencies reminded them that fans project fantasies and that real relationships could complicate career trajectories and crush illusions that generate profit. Overnight, Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie learned the unspoken rule of celebrity romance: hide your heart or lose your momentum. From that day forward, a quiet battle began, between their agencies and their emotions. Between their public image and their private truth. The first real crack in the facade came during a late-night shoot. The temperature was low. The scene demanding. Liang Jie began shivering between takes, and without hesitation, Chen Zheyuan shrugged off his coat and wrapped it around her shoulders. She looked up at him with a gratitude so raw it halted the cameraman mid-reset. But what shocked the staff even more was the moment after. When she whispered something to him, he lowered his head toward her, closing the distance in a way that spoke far louder than any scripted kiss. It was in that moment a cameraman whispered the question that would circle the entire production crew within hours. Are they actually in love? Nothing was confirmed. Nothing was denied. But from that night forward, the atmosphere around them shifted. The crew, once casually observant, became intensely protective, tiptoeing around their moments, shielding them from prying eyes, forming natural barriers whenever a tender exchange seemed to unfold. Their agencies, however, noticed the shift as well. And they reacted swiftly. Restrictions tightened. Public appearances were limited. Joint interviews became carefully monitored. PR teams instructed them to tone down their interactions. And slowly, painfully, the warmth fans saw on screen began to disappear behind the scenes. But something else happened during that period. Something no publicist could control. Their connection deepened, not through flirtation, but through struggle. Through whispered conversations between takes. Through long silences filled with emotion they could not express publicly. Through stolen moments when they allowed themselves to breathe as simply two people, not two brands. One insider described a moment that still echoes through the walls of their production studio. During a break, Liang Jie sat alone on a staircase, head lowered, overwhelmed by exhaustion and pressure. Chen Zheyuan found her, sat beside her without saying a word, and leaned his shoulder gently against hers. They stayed like that for minutes, communicating not through speech but through presence. When she finally lifted her head, eyes glistening, he whispered something the insider could not hear. But whatever he said made her smile through her tears. That moment became the emotional core of their relationship, the point where colleagues turned into confidants. As the drama aired and their popularity surged, rumors exploded. Viewers dissected every behind-the-scenes clip, every glance, every laugh, every touch. Fans insisted something was real. Reporters demanded answers. But Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie remained composed, repeating the same carefully crafted phrases. Professional partnership. Comfortable colleagues. Mutual respect. But something happened shortly after the drama concluded that shook their world once again. A leaked photo surfaced. Grainy. Dimly lit. But undeniable. It showed Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie sitting in a quiet outdoor cafe. No cameras. No stylists. No assistants. Just the two of them, leaning slightly toward each other, faces soft, expressions unguarded. Agencies moved quickly, dismissing it as a casual friendly meet-up. But fans knew better. Their body language was not the posture of colleagues. It was the posture of two people who had long dropped their defenses in each other's presence. The public storm grew louder. The pressure intensified. And for weeks, both stars remained silent. Neither confirmed. Neither denied. Instead, they disappeared from the spotlight, leaving fans suspended in uncertainty. Then came the final turning point. During an award ceremony where both actors were nominated, something subtle but breathtaking occurred. As Liang Jie walked on stage to present an award, she stumbled slightly on her heel. It was brief. Barely noticeable. But Chen Zheyuan, seated several rows back, reacted instantly. He stood halfway out of his seat, a flash of worry sweeping across his features. When she regained her balance, he slowly sank back down, but his expression did not soften until he saw her smile. That moment made headlines. Not because he acted dramatically, but because he acted instinctively. And instincts cannot be scripted. So what is the truth behind Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie's relationship? The truth is not a scandal. Not a secret marriage. Not a breakup. And not an agency-manufactured publicity stunt. The truth is far more human. It is a bond built on trust, comfort, and emotional resonance. A relationship shaped quietly behind the spotlight. Two people who found something real in a world designed to hide authenticity. Two hearts trying to navigate fame, scrutiny, timing, and the immense pressure to protect something delicate from the chaos of public obsession. Are they together? Are they more than friends? Have they crossed the line between co-stars and lovers? Only they know. And perhaps only they deserve to know. But one thing is undeniable to every person who has ever watched them interact, on camera or off. Their connection is real. Their chemistry is not manufactured. Their tenderness is not scripted. And their story, whatever its true shape may be, is unfolding quietly in the spaces the public cannot see. For now, the world watches. The fans speculate. The agencies guard. And Chen Zheyuan and Liang Jie continue moving with the quiet confidence of two people who understand a truth the rest of the world can only guess. A truth that will one day come to light. But only when they decide the world is finally ready to hear it.